Hey guys, Gabe here with G Squared RealTeam, and this is another episode of Realty on Wheels. It had been a while. A lot's been going on. We've been busy. It's been nice, but I figured it was time to get another video out there, get some information out there. There's a lot of people right now that are just very curious about the market, what it's doing, where it's going, just trying to understand. Is it the right time to buy? Is it a right time to sell? Which is a popular quote that's given by a lot of mortgage lenders, and I think it's said so much that it's undervalued, but it's 100% fact. And it's, you marry the house, you date the rate. And what that means is pretty much when you go to buy a house and you go to get a loan and whatnot, it's better to look at the house for the house itself rather than what your interest rate's going to be. Now, obviously, I understand if the interest rates are lower, you have the opportunity to buy a bigger house. I mean, that's obvious, right? There's a lot of people that in 2022 were approved for $400,000, and then or 2021, and then 2023 came around, and so now the numbers, because of interest, doubling pretty much since then, or almost doubling, not quite doubling, they can only approve for a fraction of the house. They're approving for the 200s and 300s versus whatever they were approved for before. So the point of that is that yes, you will end up approving for less. However, here's the reality, and you got to understand that market trends, how they work. And real estate is very big in supply and demand. So what happens is that when buyers have less buying power in the sense of lower loans, well, now homes that are for sale have to be more realistic as to what they're going to sell for. You can't sell a house for $400,000 with a $50,000 appraisal gap contingency on it, right? So, and I can do a video on appraisal gaps and how that works. I don't know how relevant it is. In this market, we're not really seeing too much of that. So it's really not a huge deal. But again, there obviously is a level of understanding when it comes to the appraisal gaps and whatnot. So what I would say is that ultimately what's happening is we're seeing prices or homes price drop, and that's happening two ways. One, they're being listed more aggressively, which means a lower sale price. Or the second thing that we're seeing is we're seeing homes drop, like they'll list super high and then they'll price drop. So that being said, we're seeing a lot of that. So even if your buying power in terms of how much your loan was has gone down, understand that sellers, the selling power for listings has also gone down, because real estate is supply demand. It's that simple. And if the buyers don't have buying power, the sellers don't have selling power. It's that simple, right? The seller is contingent on the buyer's ability to purchase. It's that simple. You can't sell a house if you have no one to buy it. You can't sell anything if you don't have the ability to have somebody to buy it, right? So that's one of the big things that we're starting to, I think that's one of the big misconceptions that we're getting. And so that's why a lot of mortgage lenders will say you marry the house, you date the rate. So to break that down a little bit further, so marry the house, date the rate. So you marry the house means you find the house that you love, that you want, that has everything you need. And then, yeah, you might pay a little bit more interest right now. So let's say you purchase at 6.5%. Okay, I get it. We were at 3.5%. Those numbers aren't coming back, guys. Let's be honest. Let's be realistic. I don't care. It's just not coming back. The government shouldn't have even done it for as long as they did, but they did. So you know what? Good on you if you took advantage of it. The reality is, though, that was a big mistake in terms of funding on how long they let it go for. Realistically, a successful market is usually in the 5 to 7% range. That's what helps our economy. I mean, there's just a lot of economical studies and backgrounds to that. So that being said, I'm not going to get into those details because, again, that's conversation for another day. But understanding that our current rates are really good rates is very important. again, I understand it's hard. It's like if you had I'll give you an example. We had a free year's worth supply of detergent. Well, I have 4 kids. I have more clothes than my wife. My wife still has a lot of clothes. We do a lot of laundry at the house. We're running the washing machine pretty much every day. So having a free supply of detergent for a year, believe it or not, was big savings. When that was taken away, it sucked to have to go back to pay it. But guess what? It was either that or wash our clothes with just water. So that's kind of the same concept. I get it. We had the 3.5s, 2.8s, all that for a little while. That's fine. That's gone. That's not coming back. So you buy the house that you love. You get the rate at 5, 6, 7, wherever you're at. Here's what happens. If that rate goes up, then you were smart when you were purchasing, right? Because now you got that, you got that 6 and it went up to 7. So now you're doing very well because you got a mortgage for 1% less. But let's assume that you bought at 6 and it goes down to 5. Well, here's the reality. You can refinance a house right after you buy it. Now, most mortgage lenders are going to tell you take 6 months before you do that. I understand that. There's a reason they say that. They say that because, if I'm completely transparent with you, most mortgage lenders, if you refi within 6 months, they get their commission taken back. That's usually what happens, not the case all the time. So a lot of mortgage lenders will tell you, no, you got to wait 6 months to refi. That's not true. You can refi practically immediately on the property. So if interest goes down and you want to refi for a better number, go for it. Right? That's why they say you date the rate, because that's not a permanent thing. What is permanent is the purchase of your house. That's what's permanent. You cannot say, you know what? I bought this house, better interest, I'm gonna go buy another house and sell this one, and it's just depending on how long you've been there. If you've built no equity, you're actually losing money on an asset that's an appreciating asset, which is, it's insane. You don't ever want to lose money on something that's an appreciating asset. So I hope this clarifies a little bit for the buy side. I know I kind of went into a couple different things and I just kind of touched the surface on them. If you want to know more about any of these specifically, feel free to visit our website. Feel free to just reach out, let us know that you're interested in some information on buying and how to buy. We specialize in the Tennessee market, but we're about to launch into Atlanta as a team. So again, if you have anything that you're like, hey, I'm curious about this or that, or I want to know more about buying and buying power and how that all functions, then feel free to reach out to us. You can go to our website at G2RealTeam. That's TEAM, not TY. .com. You can visit there. We have a bunch of resources on there. You can send us your info if you're wanting to get your property listed. We'll be more than happy to help you there as well. The next video is going to be more on listing properties. Thanks for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed this video and got some information from it that can help you in your buying process.